According to a Thursday report, after being arrested and formally charged with a felony for filing a false report that afternoon, Smollett, who was out on bail, returned to the Empire set where he apologized for all the trouble and pleaded with everyone to believe he did not fabricate the hoax. He said this: "I'm sorry, I've put you all through this and not answered my calls. I wanted to say I'm sorry, and you know me. I would never do this to you, your family. I swear to God, I did not do this." Welcome back to the fourth hour of the Alex Jones Show. I am Tom Pappert, guest hosting today. Facebook's God Emperor Trump. Now, we were talking in the last couple segments. We've been talking about Empire. It's still the topic of the day, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys a little bit about what happens when you give the leftists some cognitive dissonance, when you break through their mental conditioning and let them see a glimpse of the truth. Apparently, it is complete chaos on the set of Empire, or at least it was yesterday before they finally decided to suspend, I should say, Smollett. This is from Breitbart. Nolte, Empire cast feel betrayed, want Jussie Smollett fired. We've been told many of the Empire actors are bleeping furious and feel Fox honchos, if they don't fire Jussie, he should quit on his own because he doesn't deserve a spot on the show. Now, there are still people who are somehow still defending this guy, which is a little bit beyond me, and that is the absolute state of leftist conditioning. They refuse to believe the truth even when it's right in front of them. I mean, obviously the case is still proceeding. By some miracle, Jussie could be innocent. Who the hell knows? I don't see that happening in this timeline, but let's read just a little bit more here. The feelings from animosity stem from the fact that everyone on set had Jussie's back after the attack, in quotes. But in light of the new evidence police have laid out, many of them feel hurt and embarrassed. TMZ adds that almost everyone is worried about how Smollett's hate crime hoax will hurt the reputation of the show, and how it could continue to do so if he remains part of the cast. Now, it is interesting to see the one thing that leftists have is a healthy interest in self-preservation. Many of them probably couldn't care less about the 60 million Americans who were smeared as racist, homophobic losers by Smollett. Many of them probably couldn't care less that Smollett essentially said that Chicago has this horrible racist problem. You know, the one thing Chicago doesn't have: gun violence, yes. Corruption, yes. But I really don't think they have a horrible, horrible racist problem in Chirac. But these actors are more interested in their own self-preservation, their career, their future. How's it going to impact me? What's going to happen to me because of Smollett's lies? Alleged lies, I suppose I should say. Smollett has already been cut, of course, from the last two remaining episodes of the season. That's $100,000 per episode. One must wonder if Smollett was counting on that money to pay his bail or not. Of course, a $100,000 bail, you got out on a bond, which is 10% of the episode. $10,000. What Smollett makes in a couple hours of working is what his current price of freedom is. I do wonder what that judge was thinking there. Maybe they don't realize how much Hollywood actors are paid. I don't know. And by the way, what an inflated number. Just coming from a TV background, KCTU TV5 is here in Wichita, Kansas, InfoWars affiliate. Very proud to have a great signal down here. But what an inflated number. You know, if it wasn't for the dying media being propped up in so many different ways, there is no way they could afford to pay these actors this insane amount of money. But, and again, I think that perhaps Sheriff Clark is dead on the target when he says that this couldn't have been about money, because Smollett is at this point making $1.8 million per season. And the story that we're told by police is that he's not happy with that. He needs more money. That's not enough for him. He needs a little bit more. And so he does this hate hoax, allegedly. And I just find that hard to believe personally. How much money do you need? Maybe what he's doing is he's doing one of these leftist things of looking at one of his better respected, more popular co-stars, and he's saying, why isn't that me? Why aren't I making that money? I would believe if that's the case. Jussie does seem the type. But let's keep reading. According to a Thursday report, after being arrested and formally charged with a felony for filing a false report that afternoon, Smollett, who was out on bail, returned to the Empire set where he apologized for all the trouble and pleaded with everyone to believe he did not fabricate the hoax. He said this: "I'm sorry, I've put you all through this and not answered my calls. I wanted to say I'm sorry, and you know me. I would never do this to you, your family. I swear to God, I did not do this." You know, the way those brothers rolled on him, I don't know, maybe Smollett is not a Christian, but that is not the time to swear to God when you have two witnesses, brothers, who, what is he accusing them of? That these two men of Nigerian descent, that they just blatantly lied to the police? Why would they do that? Why would the brothers do that? And Smollett is basically saying, you know, it's the brothers who put forward the narrative that they were paid $3,500 by Smollett to do this crime, and that they would be paid another $500 after their impromptu vacation to Nigeria and Istanbul and elsewhere. And it is the phone records between Smollett and the brothers that the police are using to help connect the dots. It is the prior text messages exchange where Smollett allegedly bought Molly or ecstasy from the brothers. They were his drug dealers, allegedly. So what is Smollett saying here? That these guys are lying? That the phone records are just a coincidence? That the fact that they were extras on set and had a personal relationship with Smollett, it's all just a coincidence? And the fact that people on the Empire set believe this is truly astounding. By the way, Smollett, because he was being overwhelmed with phone calls from people asking him about this, he had actually turned off his number and got a new phone number. He was that busy trying to dodge people. And I do wonder, this is my own personal theory that's not grounded in anything, but did he think that if he got a new number, then police wouldn't be able to find some of the old data? I don't know, but it is absolutely beautiful. The tension within Fox about how to handle Smollett, the article continues, is highlighted by the fact that the actor is well liked among the network and studio brass. Well, maybe they should have paid him more. That's apparently the reason for all of this. So in the last segment, we've got a few minutes left here on the fourth hour of the Alex Jones Show. In the last segment, we talked about big tech fascism squeezing out the little man. And it's not just big tech. This is the left's culture. This is what they do. They want us gone. They want us removed from not just public discourse, but if they could get their way, the face of the earth. And it's not just in America. In the United Kingdom, a student was kicked out of a university after branding halal meat, the type of meat that Muslims have to eat, as barbaric and inhumane. And if you don't know how halal meat is processed, is that the right word? Prepared, maybe? They butcher an animal while it is alive, not stunned, no type of sedation, no type of anything. They slit its throat and let the blood drain onto the ground. If PETA had any guts whatsoever, they wouldn't be releasing god-awful videos trying to convince Americans not to drink milk. They would be putting their entire budget into stopping halal slaughter. But no, that would be racist. That would be anti-diversity. So this kid has now been kicked out of university. He's 19 years old. He's a member of the UKIP party. He's now been kicked out of university until next September when the next academic cycle starts. And the only way he can get back in September is if he goes to a diversity training class. This is the future of America, I think. This is where we're headed if we're not very, very careful and if we don't really start to push back in every nonviolent way we can. And further in the future, say another 6 months to a year beyond that, is what's happening in China. They have officially unrolled the new social credit scoring system in China, and Gateway Pundit posits, is America next? Now, they also add, America already has a social credit score. Just ask Laura Loomer, whose unofficial social credit score led Chase Bank to cut ties with her, PayPal to cut ties with her, Facebook to cut ties with her, Twitter to cut ties with her. The only place you can still find Laura Loomer is on Instagram, which seems to be the forgotten one. I shouldn't probably say this because then they'll go find it and get them. I'm not even going to say it. But there are people who are banned from other platforms still on Instagram. We'll leave it there. And the Chinese, because it's so hard to get people to parrot their fake news talking points and that are actual human breathing newsmen, they are actually creating NPCs, non-playable characters, to read their news. This is a bit of a comical article. We got to go fast. We're running out of time here on the fourth hour of the Alex Jones Show. But hundreds of journalists reacted with indignation when well-wishers urged them to learn to code in response to a round of firings. Well, the Chinese have beat them to it. Not only do their journalists know how to code, their journalists have coded an AI journalist that will read the news for them. It's a fascinating development, and I do think, hey, you can program a program to lie. You can code this fake guy to lie. That's not difficult at all. That's an easy thing to do. If we had more time, we might play that video, but we are running out of time here in the fourth hour of the Alex Jones Show. I want to say thanks to Alex and thanks to the InfoWars team once again for giving me the opportunity to guest host here on the fourth hour. My name is Tom Pappert. You can find me on Facebook, on the Facebook page Got Him for Trump, on Twitter @RealGETrump. And if you're in a big city, check the airwaves out. You might just get InfoWars on TV. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching. War Room up next with Owen Schroyer.
By leaps and by bounds, the #1 best-selling supplement family in the world is energy drinks and energy supplements. But they are riddled with dyes and toxins and synthetic caffeines and other chemicals that sure get you a quick boost but burn out in just a few hours and have terrible side effects. We have developed, hands down from our research, the most powerful, healthy energy drink, pre-workout and beyond system in the world. There's nothing else like it. You must experience it. It is a total game changer, and it comes in easy to use packets to mix in with fruit juice or water, whatever you like. Warning though, it's very, very strong. It lasts up to 10 hours, so take a half packet the first time you take it, because Turbo Force is named Turbo Force because it will take you into overdrive. Turbo Force at InfoWarsLife.com.